Effect 3 multiplayer is finally announced after they said it wasn't going to happen, then it might, and then it wouldn't, and now it finally is officially going to happen. They've announced 4-player co-op missions that you can go on, jump online with 3 other people. Pick your class, pick your character. They're custom characters, none of Shepard's crew. Shui?
Sweet, sorry.
Okay.
Oh, wait, you get to do lingo? I can't?
I can lingo all the fuck I want.
Back to Mass Effect.
Yeah, back to Mass Effect. Yeah, and it's gonna be part of the. It's not gonna be part of the single-player experience, but your, I guess, like experience of it will tie into how Shepard's mission completes or how successful he is.
Yeah, it's not as necessary. You don't need to play the multiplayer, but if you do, you will understand or it will affect the main story in some way. But for someone like me who's like who plans out how he's gonna play the game, now I don't know. When I get the game at midnight, am I gonna do the multiplayer first or am I gonna go straight into the story?
I think a lot of people. This is definitely exciting because I didn't understand the details of the 4-player multiplayer. I think this says one thing, which when it comes to Mass Effect, if you play single player, you're definitely excited about this, but now that this multiplayer aspect and it plays in somehow with the story, that's called replay value. Yeah, it's a lot of replay.
Yeah, well, I don't need any more replay value. I played Mass Effect 2 like 40 times already.
All the divergent storylines, and then you're like, oh no, I want female Shepard with blonde hair. I will play that.
I played like every single possible combination with every single possible character class and everything. Like I put so much time to this game, and I don't think I need to buy another game next year.
I was really surprised that like it's being approached very negatively by fans.
Really?
Yeah, like, oh, I don't know, we don't need multiplayer in our single player amazing game. But like Casey Hudson came out and said, like, no, everything that you guys are fearing, don't worry about it. We got this right. Yeah. And it's not just hey, here's a team deathmatch that we put 10 hours into putting together. It's like a full-fledged multiplayer experience that BioWare can pull off. It's BioWare. You have to trust.
Well, they brought in members from the Call of Duty team to work on these multiplayer aspects. Which, if you do your research, they announced it a long time ago, and there was a lot of speculation out of this, like, oh, Call of Duty people, there must be multiplayer in it, and BioWare's like, no, and now it shows that there is multiplayer in it. So that gives me a lot more.
If only there was some kind of show, maybe like 8 months ago, that told us that there would be Mass Effect multiplayer. If only. Wait a second, didn't we do that for our pilot episode?
It does show you where gaming is going. You know what I mean? The singular experience of sitting down by yourself and just playing a video game is something that's going away. You know, I think we are all excited about Arkham City next week, but the fact that it's a singular experience, I mean, we're really excited about it, but we're excited about it because the first game was so good and it's going to be technologically awesome, and there's 3,800 skins.
Awesome.
Like you're excited about it because it's going to be a fun game, but the idea of teaming up with another Robin or Catwoman.
If there were challenge modes where I could be Batman or I could be Nightwing and team up with Batman, and we take down villains, and it's like whoever takes out the most is the most badass. Well, that would be awesome.
I think this is where gaming is going. They're becoming more of a social thing because you got to look at the chunk that social media is taking away from gaming. You know what I mean? And casual gaming is taking away from gaming. And we need our time to connect. I mean, really, like Gears of War 3 and Gears of War 2 as those games were like social experiences for me. So, because you'd be playing and be like, hey man, what's up? Are you still dating that girl? Oh shit, Locust. All right, you know what I mean? Like, it's like catch-up time. You know what I mean?
I can see that.
And in that way, you don't totally feel like you're wasting your fucking life playing a video game.
Well, totally. Like, multiplayer is such a popular and successful part of video games right now. It's almost suicidal to bring in a game without multiplayer.
I like how it's suicidal.
Yeah, as if those fuckers are going to kill themselves anyway.
We didn't make $5 million.
Well, so from the sounds of it, this is geek-worthy as well, at least for us. Maybe not for people who are afraid of change. Obama, Vice President.
You still have your single-player mode, so.
Yeah, exactly. And I think that's the thing. It's not, if you don't like it, don't do it.
Yeah, and Casey Hudson said that if you don't want to play the multiplayer mode, you can still get the best ending on your own in single player. You just have to work a little harder.
There you go.
What I worry about, guys, in all honesty, is like the online pass system that some of these systems are starting to sell. It's like, okay, you want your multiplayer, but you're gonna have to pay a little extra in order to get a multiplayer experience. Here's this extra pass that we're doing. That kind of stuff freaks me out. You know what I mean? Because we're already, paying for a game. We're already paying for DLC. We're already paying for a lot of stuff. What else can they take from us? Especially if our credit cards aren't even secured.
That's why I'm on my Xbox. No problem.
All right, so Chrissy, what do people think about the Mass Effect shit?
Aside from having a really deep conversation about Marvel and Avengers, there was a couple of comments. Telemundo714 said, "Hey, it could be better than the multiplayer of Battlefield 3 beta." Xylios says Deus Ex should have multiplayer. That'd be sick. Dick Nam says, "I have many games. I never played multiplayer because some games just don't need it."
Has no friend.
That's how I read it. I don't need that shit.
Yeah,
I'm so alone.
social interaction?
I make dolls out of my old hair.
That is awesome.
So let's look in Geek Worthy.